and welcome to the Week 15 of the 2022-2023 NFL season and my prediction picks. I'm your host, Catherine, known as the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow, and I roll intros like that before, and I hope you've been paying attention to that meme if you didn't know that was a Mr. Beast meme that's been going around. For whatever reason, it's always funny to me. Certain memes, they kind of just fluctuate and circulate, you just kind of don't expect it. Somehow Freshly Canal, rap battles, tend to spawn memes from them. And what makes it funnier to me is that I have communities who aren't even into the rap battle community, or into rap battles, or that deep, or blah blah blah, etc., etc. And they're finding these memes. And they're partaking in these memes. So it's kind of like, we're all connected in a great circle of life. So yeah, I find that kind of interesting. So, yeah, that was I don't know. I'm having fun, fuck you, as much, you know. So let's talk, last weekend. Goddamn, this shitstorm just becomes more of a shitstorm, and I hate my life. Where week 14, we did go over 500 on the straight up picks, but we shit the bet on spreads, and we shit the bet on totals. At this point, certain teams, I just don't want to give them anything anymore, and it's, I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want from me. And I'm going camera here instead of the hookup thing to the mic thing down here. So I do realize with this I got to be a little louder. So yeah, I don't know what you want from me. I really don't. So it's this one. I'm gonna stop giving teams benefit of the doubt, and it comes back to you got to prove it again. Because I'm having a hard time believing you. So, prove to me you'll lay points. KC, why are you letting Denver have their best offensive production by far in the season? Buffalo, the Jets aren't good. I mean, their defense is aight. Where's your offense? Come on here. Mike White dived like 13 times on that field. How are you giving nothing? How can you not cover 9? I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. But, whatever. We're going to go into these week's videos and this week's predictions. And we're going to hope we get what we want. I hope we get what we want. Marky's playing Among Us. Are they playing Among Us without me? Bitches. Whatever. Let's get these picks going, shall we? Starting off with the Thursday night game. Seattle and San Fran. I really like this game. I think this is going to be a great game. And with all things considered, you would think the Niners would beat the play, and Vegas thinks so too. They're favored despite the game being in Seattle. But I think Seattle's not looking anyway. But I think this is one of those games Seattle gets, especially now losing to Carolina. I think Seattle's like, hey, if we want any shot at this division, we need to win this game. At this point, we dug ourselves a hole that we got to pray and we can get some luck on our side. But it's now or never. We gotta win this game. Because what is that? I do think San Fran clinches the division with this game. I think. So yeah, this is a hey, we need to win this game. So I think they'll take it serious. Seattle, I'm starting to learn, is more like Seattle and New York for that most part. We're starting to learn that they are not these high and mighty teams. They're coming back down to almost the expectations, to the point where it's like, oh, you got to 6, 7, 8, 9 wins? Good job. Let's hope in the next year you'll be even better. But, so they started off hot, and now they're kind of falling down, and I kind of think that's what's expecting to happen. But I do like Seattle in this spot. And either way, I think you hedge here. I don't think San Fran runs this game out of the building. I don't. Especially on Brock Purdy's second start. I don't. So, I am going Seattle here. Saturday games, I'm taking Minnesota blowout Indy. I'm not going to hold too much of the Minnesota loss to Detroit against them. Again, Detroit's been one of those, they're hot when they're hot, and then if not, they're still down here. But I think that at this point, the offense is getting more of a rhythm. And Jameson Williams, is it Williams or Williamson? I don't remember off the top of my head. Is going to be a huge addition to that piece, that offense. So I think the Lions are a good team, and they're They're building themselves up. So I'm not pulling that against them. Indy, last time we saw them, they kept Dallas competitive for 3 quarters and then got the doors blown off them. So, and at that point, I think Dallas at this point just likes to keep games competitive in general, so I'm not going to hold much against it. So with that, I'm taking Minnesota, and I think the 4.5 should be fine. I think you should be fine. Yeah, this is one of those Saturday afternoon games, primetime, solo cast, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not sold on Indy. You can't sell me on Indy. So I'll take the Vikings, take the 4.5. Knowing my luck, this Indy's got a backdoor cover. But that is my vibe. That's what I'm feeling. This is what I'm expecting. Ravens Browns. I kind of wanted to lean on Browns when this game came up, considering the fact of the QB injuries Baltimore has. But with the way that defense played, and yes, a lot of that's part of Mr. Trubisky throwing dumb interceptions, I feel like this defense is finding a groove. And if we learned anything from Cleveland the last 2 weeks, they ain't got an offense. Watson, rusty as hell, and probably will be rusty as hell all season. So, I think this is a game the defense just kind of dominates yet again. Whether it's Huntley or Anthony Brown, or Oregonian Pride running the show, I think if you can get, I don't know what, 16, 17 points, you should be fine. You should be fine. I don't think our defense, if they're playing the way they played lately, they should not give up more than 10 to this more than 13 to this Cleveland team. Now we can talk special teams and blah blah blah, but offense, do your job, don't fuck it up. The defense will give you this game. They will. Taking Bills over Dolphins, but with the way the Bills have played lately, I don't trust them to cover 7. Although with the way Miami's playing, I don't know if I trust them to do anything competitive in this game altogether. Because the Chargers, as great as Herbert looked, it felt like a lot of the time was just kind of take what you're given, don't mess up the game. Which, and again, credit to the Chargers defense for shutting down Miami the way they did. The San Fran game you understand. The Chargers with a lot of injuries, you're wondering. So what's going on with Miami? I don't know, but at this point I can't trust them to beat Buffalo. In a game that's probably going to be cold and snowy and blah, give me Buffalo, but until they can prove they can blow teams out, and yeah, they got an 8-point win on the Jets. Whatever. The Dolphins are better than the Jets. So, I think the Dolphins should be fine here. Although this is I think the 3rd consecutive road game, so they're probably fatigued as all hell. Is what it is. Saints Falcons, I kind of don't care, to be honest. So I'm just going to be cheap. Saints win, Falcons cover. What do you want me to say about Desmond Ridder? I got nothing. Desmond Ridder is finally getting the start. I said he was clear after week 10 or whatever, but yeah, I guess I wanted to wait till week 15. But whatever. I'll give New Orleans a win just to make things in that division interesting. By interesting, I mean give Tampa more cushion. Although at this point, Tampa's not doing themselves any favors either. Man, the Saints could play defense for 5 seconds. Again, this whole division would have been 5-8 this week. That's crazy to think. Lions, I'm going to say they dominate the Jets. I get the 1. I get it. It's in New York. And the Lions are hard to... Credit to the Lions for winning 5-6 and building something and having something. But there's still that trust issue I have with them. I'm still very weary on trusting them. So it's one of those things. So you're skeptical, and you feel like they're due for a loss. But the Jets are also in need of a win. Both these teams need wins. With how tight the playoff race is at this point now, losses can't be afforded. And this game, believe it or not, is critical for both. There's a good chance both of them miss the playoffs. But if they lose this game, then your odds become way, way, way more difficult. Fuck you, computer. They become way more difficult. So with that, I'm going with Detroit, because I think they're making a push. And with Seattle crumbling a little bit, and the Giants crumbling a little bit, I think Detroit can make a run here at the end. And they got a relatively easy schedule to do so. The Lions are coming. The Lions are coming. I'm taking the Chiefs over the Texans, but I'm this is mostly that double-digit thing, but after seeing what happened with Dallas, and maybe that's just Dallas at this point playing down the competition, but I'm not laying it. And I can also now see KC letting Denver back into games. KC will probably win this game by 10. This is a this is a 31-21 game probably. I'll take the over. I don't know what it's at, but I'll take it. This is a 31-21 game. Philly will to Chicago, because yes, I think Philadelphia is the best team in football right now. They have earned it. Winning is one thing, but dominating is another. So, and they've pretty much dominated most of their opponents. So I think they're on a roll. Chicago, I think, just kind of doesn't care at this point. Make sure Fields stays healthy enough that you can get reload for next season, because I think Chicago's already eliminated. So, meh. Take your chances, and Philly will just cruise. Philly's going to lock up the 1 seed here really quick at this point, so credit to them. Carolina over Pittsburgh. Part of me wanted to take Pittsburgh because of, that 500 record thing, but that's them losing to Baltimore, and again, that might be a Trubisky thing instead of Pickett. But Carolina is now eyeing that division. Believe it or not, Carolina, if they win the division. They got a rematch with Tampa coming up eventually. But Carolina right now, I think they're 3-1 in that division. Like, they're right there. And with only 1 game behind, and right now with a tiebreaker over Tampa's gonna struggle. Tampa's got Cincinnati on this week. And at this point, a couple teams, you can't trust Tampa. So Carolina's looking like, hey, maybe we can do it. So I think they're motivated. I think they take this opportunity, and I think they beat Pittsburgh. I'm taking Dallas over the Jags. Not gonna really think twice about it. Although I won't sleep on the Jags. I think the Jags are finding something, and I think next year, this Jags team could potentially compete. I'm not saying like Super Bowl or whatever, but I think the Jags might be an interesting bet for a playoff team next year. Trevor Lawrence is developing, they're getting pieces, and Doug Peterson, he's figuring things out. I mean, he won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. They're figuring things out. Give Jacksonville time. They are coming. But Dallas, I think, after the scare in Houston, they're like, I'm not taking chances. We are the better team. Dallas is the better team. Handle your business. If I could avoid games, Denver and Arizona would be a game I'd avoid. Because I don't want to bet Denver. I hate betting Denver. I don't want to do it ever again. But Cardinals don't have Kyler Murray, which means that offense probably is not going to exist, period. And what's the defense to do? Denver might not have Wilson this game, but even if they do, their offense still should show anyway. What the fuck happened in Kansas City? I don't know. But I'm going to take Denver because I think Wilson should be back in time. I think. But even if not, I think Brett Rippon... at this point, I trust Denver's defense in this game the most at this point. I'm not going to... Again, I don't want to say anything about the Kansas City because Kansas City has a great offense. And Denver sucks, so... I'm not going to hold the game against KC against them. But Denver's defense, I think, is the only reliable factor out of all 6 phases of this game. So, I'm taking Denver. I'm taking it. I'll take the Patriots over the Raiders. I get why the Raiders are favorited. But at the same time, I don't. The Raiders have yet to show me in any way, shape, or form they're a favorite. Not that New England in this game is in Vegas, I believe. Not that New England is anything to brag about, but I think New England at this point deserves the benefit of the doubt. I would have... I hate my life. My career's slow. I hate my life. Yeah, the game is big. I would have made New England a 1-point favorite. Kind of like what they did with Detroit going to New York. I would have made New England a 1-point favorite. Again, you want me to bet on the Raiders. I refuse. I refuse to give the Raiders any benefit of the doubt. And beating the Chargers a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, or however time works, doesn't do nothing for me. The Chargers beat themselves all the damn time, or let teams beat them all the damn time. That means nothing to me. Speaking of the Chargers, they realistically should beat the Titans. They realistically should. The three-headed race I'm saying here now, because at this point with Baltimore winning against Pittsburgh and being at 9 wins, I think one more and they'll be fine. I think 10 wins is enough to get in the playoffs. New England's going to have a tough schedule. The Jets are going to have a tough schedule. Chargers, you got the Titans, and after that, it's the corpse of Matt Ryan, whatever's left of Baker Mayfield, and Broncos country. Let's die already. So, could you afford to lose this game? Probably. You better win it, because it'll be an insurance win. And knowing you guys, you're probably going to lose that Week 18 game. Because if there's anything the Chargers love to do, if it's one game away from getting anywhere, you'll lose it. I don't care who the opponent is. And to be fair, this team lost to the Texans last year on a late playoff push, so you don't get the benefit of the doubt from me. You don't. But I'm taking the Chargers because I don't trust Tennessee, period. Tennessee's going to win the division, but I don't trust them worth a damn. Bengals over the Bucks. If the Bucks have proven anything last week, it's that if a team's half as good, then they're going to get ramrodded. And Cincy is a good team. I will say arguably better than the Ravens, even with Lamar healthy. But yeah, I can't trust the Bucks. I don't. So I'm taking Cincy. Commanders over the Giants. I love that they flexed this. I love this because both teams have been really good for the first time in forever. So I love the fact, and now that they're both tied, quite literally. I love this game being primetime. I really do. So I'm excited for this game. I hope I get to watch it. It's not my work schedule, but something going on that day, so I don't know if I'll be able to, but I hope I can. And then Packers-Rams, the teams of disappointment. Rams had their fun Thursday, and they'll probably be rested enough for this Monday, but Green Bay's also coming off the bye. I think Green Bay's better, and I think Aaron Rodgers wants to prove he has something left. So I'm taking the Rams here. Or I'm taking the Rams to get their ass beat. But I mean, I'm phrasing that poorly. Packers win, Rams cover, because I'm not trusting the Packers to lay 7, because they've been ass all season. I'm not. So, no. Packers win, Rams cover. It'll be a close game. Probably. Unless Baker throws like 4 picks. We'll see. We'll see. And that we're going into fantasy with the 4 leagues here. 3 of them are kicking off their playoffs. League of Assholes, we'd like to go 1 more week. I don't remember why we changed that, but I might take it back. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But with it, I did get my win I needed, and both Chris and Nathan lost. So Micah clinched, but Chris and Nathan have lost, so now I'm 1 game behind both of them. And funny enough, I'm playing Chris this week. So this is almost like the perfect scenario. Nathan, by virtue of points, is mostly in, but it is very possible he can be eliminated. But here with Chris, I have to win, but I also have to beat him, because our tiebreakers are points. He has a 16-point lead on me for season points. So as long as I beat him by more than 17, let's make it easy. If I beat him by more than 17, I'm in. But so in a world where we're talking spreads, let's set the spread at 16.5. I have to cover 16.5, or else game over. So there is a possibility, but that both me and Chris can get in, and Nathan gets pushed out. I have to beat Chris, obviously, but it would also involve us outscoring Nathan by, I think, me by more than like 80-something, and Chris by more than 70-something. So basically, me and Chris have to put up 200-point games, and Nathan has to put up like a dud, like an 80 or 90-point game. That's our best bet. Even though in LOA, I think we've only had 1 200-point game. So it's Nathan's probably in, or more than likely in. So it's just going to depend on this game. I'm glad. These are shuffled. These were not planned. I'm glad with the shuffled schedules in these leagues that we've had enough that the final week were games that mattered. We're not going to ignore the fact that in my other 3 leagues I lost those games, but you know what? I don't think anything was going to change the seeding. Although with Jay's win over Isaac, Jay actually has points, so Jay jumped up to 2, I think, and they're going to play Amanda. While I, because the 4 seed now, I'm going to go play Zach, aka Muser, who had the best regular season by far and was kind of in cruise control for most of the season, so it'll be a tough game. But we should get him. And then Coconut Mall, I'm playing the roommate, playing Rye. We've had fairly even seasons, so it should be a fun one. And then Auntie and Co, like I said, I clinched the 1 seed, but now I'm on back-to-back losses. And I'm scared now for my team, because Jamal Williams feels like he's lost the offense a little bit. Jalen Waddle apparently is no-showing, and now DeAndre Hopkins lost his quarterback. Although I will say I did on a last-second run pick up Donovan Knight, so I'm hoping the Jets give me some points against an inconsistent Lions defense. Give me some Donovan Knight points. And Antonio Gibson's now off the bye, so I can have him back in the lineup as well. So I'm hoping with that, my defensive stars, Hurts being the MVP that he is, Eckler being that guy, I just hope we can get more going. We hope. Playoff for now, it's win or go home. And if I lose to a goddamn 8 seed, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. It is what it is. Oh yeah, the cat parlay of the week. Fuck. Good point. I don't know what I want to do. Well, here's what I'm going to do with this. A Saturday thing. You're taking Vikings, Ravens, and Bills straight up. I promise you those 3 will win. Maybe. Hopefully. If the Ravens defense shows up, they'll win. Against the spread, yeah, Vikings, yeah, Ravens. Maybe Dolphins against the spread. Maybe bump that up to 10. I don't think Buffalo, even with the snow, is going to blow out Miami. I don't. So here's your Saturday stuff. But as far as the Sunday games, you definitely want Detroit. You definitely want that. Carolina and Pitt, you'll probably take the under in that game. Dallas money line. Denver, Arizona, you'll probably want the under in that game too. New England straight up or against the spread, whatever's more profitable. And you probably could take Cincy to cover that 3.5. You probably could. I don't think it would hurt. But let's do that. Let's go Detroit against the spread. Let's go New England against the spread. Dallas money line. Bengals money line. And Panthers Steelers under. That will be your play. We'll probably do Denver, Arizona under as well. We'll see. We'll see. Well, that's going to be my parlay of the week. Hopefully this time it's cash. We've been on a losing streak. We've had nothing really going on since those 2 we got early in the season. So hope we can pick it up. Hope we can get something going. And yeah. And that is going to be all from me, your favorite catcher from Canada, even though I'm not from Canada. I'm from Oregon, but now living in Kansas. Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe to my awesome YouTube channel where you'll see videos like this. You'll see me doing shitposts more often. I hate myself for it. I game, I do music, and just kind of a variety of whatever and wherever. Funny video coming out Monday featuring a lot of my good old friends. Whether that's Progs, whether that's the rap battle community, whether that's Coconut Mall, or my folks from the Avatar era, or however we're calling that now, because we're not, no one's even in that server anymore. Everyone kind of moved on to a new server. But all the friends in one big video, and we're gonna have fun. And until then, I will catch you all next time. I gotta go find out if Ohio is even a real fucking place. Because at this point, I'm convinced it's not. The Browns and the Bengals are a lie. they are, they are. So I'm going to go find out if Ohio is real. I need y'all to choose peace, accept love, and have big trust. Hopefully I don't jump into the void. Bye!